why you should never, and I mean never, touch a dead whale. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I even want to touch a dead whale in the first place? Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why it's a terrible idea, but you'll also have a newfound respect for these majestic creatures, and maybe a little fear of their post-mortem antics. Let's start with the basics. Whales are incredible. They're the largest animals on Earth, and the blue whale? Oh, it's the heavyweight champion of the planet. Bigger than any dinosaur, bigger than anything we've ever discovered. Just its heart alone weighs as much as a Toyota Corolla. A car. And get this, you can hear its heartbeat from 2 miles away. Its tongue? Yeah, that weighs as much as an elephant. These animals are literal giants of the deep, and they inspire awe in anyone lucky enough to see them alive. But here's the thing. Like all living creatures, whales eventually die. And when they do? Oh boy, it's not pretty. Normally when a whale dies in the ocean, its body sinks to the seabed, where it becomes a feast for marine life. Fish, sharks, and all sorts of deep-sea critters gather around the carcass, turning it into an underwater buffet that can last for decades. The whale's bones even become a habitat for other creatures. It's a beautiful cycle of life, really. A whale's death gives life to countless others. But sometimes things don't go according to plan. Instead of sinking, the whale's body floats to the surface, and thanks to wind and ocean currents, it can end up on a beach. Now, this isn't rare. Thousands of whales die every year, and some inevitably wash ashore. Sometimes they strand themselves intentionally or accidentally, and sometimes they're already dead when they arrive. Take, for example, the tragic event in February 2017, when over 650 pilot whales stranded themselves on the shores of New Zealand. Many were saved, but over 300 didn't make it. Their massive bodies were left on the beach, creating a logistical nightmare. Pilot whales are big, but not the biggest, so they can sometimes be returned to the water or cut into smaller pieces for disposal. But when it comes to the real giants like sperm whales? Oh, that's when things get complicated. You see, dead whales are like ticking time bombs, and no, I'm not being dramatic. When a whale dies, its internal organs start decomposing, and gases like methane and hydrogen sulfide build up inside its body. But here's the kicker. Whales have incredibly thick skin and blubber, which traps those gases inside. The result? A bloated, pressurized carcass that's just waiting to burst. And burst they do. Marine biologists often have to carefully puncture the whale's body to release the gases, but if you're not careful, well, let's just say it's not a pretty sight. There's a famous video from the Faroe Islands where a whale carcass partially explodes after being poked. It's like a scene from a horror movie, gases, blubber, and guts flying everywhere. But explosions aren't the only danger. Let me tell you about the infamous whale explosion incident in Taiwan back in 2004. A large sperm whale washed up on a beach, and authorities decided to transport it to a research facility. They loaded it onto a truck using 3 cranes. Yes, 3. And started driving through the city of Tainan. Everything seemed fine, until the whale exploded in the back of the truck. Imagine this. You're walking down the street, minding your own business, when suddenly, boom. Whale guts rained down on cars, shops, and unlucky bystanders. It was like a scene from a disaster movie, except it was real. The smell? Oh, don't even get me started. It was described as one of the worst odors imaginable. And then there's the Oregon incident of 1970. A dead whale washed up on the beach, and local authorities thought, hey, let's blow it up with dynamite. I'm not kidding. They used half a ton of dynamite to try and break the whale into smaller pieces for scavenger birds to eat. But instead of a clean explosion, chunks of blubber went flying everywhere, smashing cars, hitting houses, and scattering debris over a wide area. The whale? Yeah, most of it was still intact. So why am I telling you all this? Because dead whales are dangerous. They're not just smelly, bloated carcasses, they're potential biohazards. The gases inside them can be toxic, and the risk of explosion is very real. And let's not forget the bacteria and parasites that thrive in a decomposing body. Touching a dead whale? Not only is it gross, but it's also a health risk. So if you ever come across a dead whale on the beach, here's what you do. Stay away. Call the authorities, let the experts handle it, and maybe take a few steps back. Just in case. Trust me, you don't want to be anywhere near a whale when it decides to go out with a bang. In fact, the stench can be so overpowering that it can cause nausea, headaches, and even respiratory problems. So even if you're brave enough to get close to a dead whale, your nose will definitely thank you for staying away. And then there's the environmental impact. When a whale carcass washes ashore, it can attract scavengers like birds, crabs, and even land animals. While this might seem like a good thing, it can actually disrupt the local ecosystem. The sudden influx of nutrients from the decomposing body can lead to algal blooms, which can deplete oxygen levels in the water and harm marine life. Plus, the carcass can attract predators, which can pose a threat to humans and pets. And there you have it, folks. Dead whales, majestic in life, dangerous in death. Nature is full of wonders, but sometimes those wonders are best admired from a distance. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more mind-blowing content. Until next time, stay curious and maybe keep a safe distance from any beached whales you come across.